And that's part two. So welcome back. We're working on beach houses. And basically all we've done is we have put a base coat on the canvas for the sky and the beach, and then came with a stencil. And now we're using paint chips to make little beach houses to give kind of the idea of the painted ladies in Galveston. So I'm just using lots of different scrap papers and stickers to add the eaves and add some of the railings to give all of the little beach condos a different feeling. And this was just a piece I had of trim from something left over. And usually when I'm making the eaves, I'm just folding them in half and cutting it so it matches. Oh, that's got to go there. I just need to trim the ends. And I'm going to use, we'll use these two pieces for the windows. What I use is it's ugly scrapbook paper that's been brayered over a lot of different times. These are blue, and then I just cut, and I just didn't worry about precision. I just sort of like it if it's wonky. So I'm going to put kind of like a bigger glass. I'll turn that into kind of like a picture glass window or a patio door later. And what I'm going to do is use these little pieces that are left over from the roof and kind of use them like a window box. Kind of like, you think of a trim on a gingerbread house, kind of all the trims. And then I have some map that's got brown paint. That I'm going to use as a door. And I really jumped ahead of myself. I should have put the door on before I put the railing. All right, so here's all I did to cut the railings. Is I just took some white paper. This kind of just like a linen weight stationery. And I just snipped Again, I didn't worry about precision necessarily. Oh, Patty's streaming tomorrow? All right, and then what I did was I just came in and cut out every other little, I know it's hard to see. I cut out every little flap that I had cut. I need to do it back here because otherwise it's just gonna, all those little pieces will fall in the, they hop everywhere anyways. Noon Eastern time tomorrow. Thanks, Ray. I have a training I have to do for school tomorrow, but I figure I brought my laptop home from school. Figure I can put it on and watch the stream to the side. Hi, Jean. I think I'll put that one there. So the rails take a while to make. The other thing I thought about using for some of the tops, because I want to finish them up, is map. Just little pieces of map that I had. And I thought that might be interesting. In fact, I'm not sure I like this gray. So I think I'm just going to put map over it. And basically what I'm digging through over to the side is I have just little scraps of jellies and That's what I made all the windows out of. It was just little pieces that I cut off of a project, or I tried something and I didn't like it. But when you cut it up and you're just using a piece of it, it's fine. And the other thing that I had that I thought I would use possibly on one of these is I had some stickers, some that I had. These are old K and Company. It may be too pastel. It may be too, the green may not be right. These were travel ones. I think I'm going to try this one right here. You also can use magazine stuff. Like if you look, bye Linda, if you look like really close at it and you see a pattern that you like, you're not looking at the object itself, but you're just looking at the design of the dress, or, you know, like, I used to do this project with my kids and they would decorate and we would use hair as the wooden floor. Cut the end of that one off a little bit. You probably can't see the sticker on there too well, but up close you can. You can see the text and the writing. You can sort of see it a little bit. And I really liked the map. So I think I'll add some map over here. So there's just one more house that doesn't have the trim. Well, we had some rain, but we didn't have any hail, Jamie. Though they're talking about possible ice on Monday, but I just don't see it. But it really did get cold this morning. I mean, it was gorgeous yesterday, and it finally warmed up and was a nice day. Oh, well, yeah, Carrie. It's a big deal if we get ice and snow. It kind of stops everything. Nobody goes anywhere. I think just to keep it simple, I'm going to use the map again for this last one. All right, and then the other thing I had was I had some paper that just had some brown and it was like text. So I'm ready to do some doors. And that will get some of that coral even in on some of the other. And that one, since I put the rail there first, I'm going to have to paint it in. See, that one needs to be dark. That one can have that text. Some of these you can read the text behind the paint. Oh yeah, I guess they might look like chalets. I guess just with vacation homes you have the freedom to be more colorful than we do on our normal houses. Okay, they all have a door except for that one. Okay. Now I think I'm going to go back in and cut windows for several of them. And for some of them, their windows, I was going to use this piece of paper that had gold so that some of them would have light. And then I also had this, it was trimmed off a piece of jelly printed. And I thought that some of those could be windows. Might be interesting. And even that the dark ones, and I tried to keep the windows kind of the same size. And just cut a whole bunch at one time so I could just grab them. And then I also cut some that were bigger. That could be like double patio doors or right, I have that gold here. So I think that like I want some like lights on and a couple of these. And then I'll probably add some more rails. And I think all right, and then most of these houses I'm just going to give the rest of them kind of regular blue windows, like regular glass. Are you writing like an affirmation quote, Carrie? Bob bought two. It's still curling up on the edges here some. I don't pay attention to it, but my husband buys tickets and all the time, and it's like it's big. I got to get a lotto. But I'll sure retire if he wins. Yeah, it's 1 billion today, isn't it? Tonight. Oh yeah, if you do the payout, it's a big difference between how you get paid, isn't it? And who earns the money on who earns the interest on the money over that time. I actually don't even, I don't know, because it's like each spin of, it's probably more people buy generated, like quick picks and generated tickets because it's easier than that. And so that statistically, that probably means more people have won with, but the odds should be the same because every time it starts over, it's like roulette. It's not really connected to each other. I mean, you think that if it's been red, 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 statistically you have a higher chance of landing on black for roulette, but you really don't. It's 50-50 every time they spin the wheel. It's a perception. Oh, yeah, when there was like it was long lines when last night, and that was not that was before it went up again. But yeah, the statistics, people, it's their perception of the statistics. But in reality, you have the same statistical chance of getting each number. So, but I imagine, I mean, we get quick picks all the time, and it'll have like two numbers that are next to each other, and it makes me think, oh, that's not a good ticket. But in reality, it has every bit as high a chances coming up as the other one does. Yeah, most people are using, you have a more likely chance to share it, is probably statistically true. You know, like not be the only one that wins. So the people that use random generated numbers probably win more money when they win. Like, don't have to share it. Like, they're the. Okay, I think I need windows right there. And I know that these don't really show up right now because I haven't put any of the details on them. Okay. I think that's all the windows. Getting rid of some of these scraps and little pieces around me. Alright, so the next thing I think I want to do is put in some of the washi tape that goes along the bottom. Then sorry, I start focusing on what I was doing. Oh, I love Graphic 45 papers and some of their ephemera packs. See if I can sneak this little piece in here. Sometimes it's a blessing things don't stick. All right, so that's the washi tape that I used. I like that little pop of black. I just think it helped anchor all of the little houses and gives you an illusion of a road. All right, so what I'm going to do next is give it one generous coat. Before I get the markers out. Yeah, like sidewalks or road. Now, I mean, and I just think it needs that grounding. And it grounds those layers and gives you a little bit of a pop. Close that up. Get some more stuff off the table. Back where it goes. See, I never bought any of the die cutting machines because I just don't want to invest in all of the dies. I see them and I like them, but then I know that my silhouette, if I really used it, could do all of that. trying to get my hands clean and let this dry just a little bit. Yeah, I think it's because when I started like scrapbooking, and I just everything I would use everything at the crop that, and I just didn't invest in any of a lot of stamps or. And I could use my silhouette more than I do. I don't know if his dominance is fading, but I think there's definitely more competition in the market. See, and I don't have a whole lot of Prima either. Like I just see Xander's flowers and think, wow, what a lot of flowers. Well, last year I watched, like I have said, I haven't watched any of the videos yet. I haven't had time. All right, I'm going to give this a little bit of dry. Like there's a couple of these that are still sticking up. In a couple places. And I'm going to stick some of the heavy gel medium. Oh, the mini misters are even smaller than the original ones. They run out of water so fast. I like the way they spray. I wish they would just actually be a little bit larger. I have to say that's probably the only, besides my craft mat, that's probably the only Ranger product that I've ever bought that I'm just that I really liked is the mini misters and my craft mat. But my brayer is a Ranger and it's awful. You can't hardly clean it. And it comes off in layers and then it gets uneven. And I need to buy a speedball. Yeah, and I kind of wonder if that's not the way it is sometimes, Jess, if it just doesn't kind of almost go in cycles. And of course, the coloring book thing might be a real big this year to them. If you hear noises, that's my husband upset about football on the TV. Well, and sometimes I kind of wonder like Sandra did the comparison and showed that the Prima colors were the exact same as the Spectrum Noir. So makes you wonder, did the same company make them and just put two different names and there's two different price points on the exact same thing? Yeah, and I guess that they figure there's always new people and see, and I haven't bought any of the Dilutions paints. No, Spectrum Noirs are not watercolors. They're their alcohol markers. But didn't Prima have the alcohol? I think she was comparing the alcohol markers to the alcohol markers. It was by Jamie. Wow, Eileen, through the window. All right, I think I have this all stuck down. But it's still tacky in places and leaking. So I really need to let it sit overnight before I use the pit markers on it and go to the next step. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and go check on laundry. And is there someone else streaming? Yeah, I'm real happy with the first, like where it's at now. Let me pull it a little closer. I think the houses are starting to pop, but I want it to really dry before. But yeah, I'm gonna stop here and let it dry. I will be at Paula's tonight, and I'll check Ustream after I get done with the laundry. Thank you all for coming, and I'll get better at this. I promise. I'll get better at watching the chat. It's hard to focus on what you're doing and forget that you're in a room full of other people. So I'm going to say goodbye, my friends, and I will talk to you all later, and I'm going to stop the recording now.